Do you remember when the internet felt like the Wild West? Before TikTok, before Instagram, before people argued in the Facebook comment sections, there was a different kind of online chaos. Your inbox on your email. Every day, people received messages warning them about deadly spiders hiding under their toilet seats, computer viruses that would supposedly destroy your entire hard drive, and heartbreaking stories that ended with one simple instruction: forward this to 10 people. And somehow, millions of people actually fell for it.
This is Rabbit Hole Radio.
Welcome back to Rabbit Hole Radio. My name is Megan. In today's video, we're diving into the bizarre era of chain emails and internet hoaxes. The time when misinformation spread not only through algorithms, but through your aunt's Hotmail account. I remember some of them used to scare the absolute fuck out of me. Like, I used to get so scared of like the ghost email saying someone's gonna come haunt you in the middle of the night. I could not sleep for days because of that. I was so paranoid. So I thought this would be a fun video to go down the rabbit hole of. So if you're into this sort of thing, grab a snack, grab a blanket, or maybe do some chores while you're watching this, and let's get into it. It's kind of hard to explain to younger generations just how different the internet was in the late 90s and early 2000s. There was no Facebook timeline, no Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, no TikTok, no Instagram. Unless you lived through it, there's no way to explain how chaotic it was, to be all honest with you. It was really the wild, wild west. And instead of communicating through a social media app, you communicated through your email, instant messenger, MSN, forums, or chat rooms. And because information was harder to verify, people almost believed anything they read online. If an email looked official enough, it may as well have been the truth. That created the perfect environment for chain emails to thrive. Long before videos went viral, chain emails were the internet's version of viral content. A typical chain email followed by a simple formula. It would start with an emotional or scary story. Maybe a sick child needed help. Maybe a family had suffered a tragedy. Maybe someone had discovered a shocking secret that the government supposedly wanted hidden. Then came the hook. The email would claim that forwarding the message would somehow make a difference. Sometimes it promised good luck. Sometimes it would threaten bad luck. Sometimes it claimed a company would donate money every time the email was shared, and people forwarded them over and over again. Sometimes messages traveled around the world for years. Perhaps the most famous chain emails were the ones that tried to scare people. Fuck off. I'm just kidding. You probably remember them though. Forward this to 15 people in the next hour or terrible luck will follow you. Send this to everyone you know or you'll experience 7 years of bad luck. And a lot of the time, there was even a creepy story attached to it. A ghost coming to haunt you, an unalive child, which is so dark and creepy and ugh. Those ones are horrible. Or it'd be a mysterious figure watching people through their window. The logic made absolutely no sense, but millions of people still forwarded them. Not because they fully believed them, but because that tiny voice in the back of their head kept asking, what if it's real? And that tiny bit of uncertainty was enough. As internet use exploded, the hoaxes became even more elaborate. People started receiving warnings about things that never even existed. One famous example was the Budweiser frogs virus. Like, what? The emails claimed that opening a certain message would completely destroy your computer. The problem? The virus didn't even exist. Another claimed that the virus called Good Times was so dangerous that merely reading an email could infect your computer forever. And again, both of these are completely false. These warnings spread faster than the actual viruses that were legit, but people forward these emails to everybody they knew. Friends warned friends, families warned families, entire workplaces circulated fake alerts. But the irony behind all of it? The hoax itself often caused more disruption than the thing it was warning about. Then there were scams. One of the most famous internet scams of all time became known as the Nigerian prince email. The message usually claimed that a wealthy prince, government officials, or business owner needed help transferring millions of dollars. All they needed was your bank information, and in return, they'd give you a huge percentage of the fortune. I know, that sounds ridiculous in today's day and age, but these scams actually work. Not on everybody, but on enough people to make scammers millions of dollars. In fact, variations of this scam still exist today. The technology has changed, but the strategy hasn't. Some of the most heartbreaking chain mails involved missing children. An email would include a photo of a child and claim they had recently disappeared. Recipients were encouraged to share the message everywhere. But the problem with it? Many of these children weren't currently missing. Some had already been found years earlier. Others weren't even missing at all. Their photos were being used without permission. As the messages spread, they created confusion and made it harder to identify genuine missing person cases. What started as an attempt to help often ended up causing harm. Some of you are probably wondering why these emails work so well. The answer is actually pretty simple. It was trust. The email wasn't coming from a stranger, it was coming from your mom's email, or even a close friend, a coworker, your cousin, someone you already trusted. And if they believed it enough to forward it, maybe it was true. This is the same reason misinformation still spreads today. People are more likely to trust information shared by people they know. The platform has changed, but human psychology hasn't. As hoaxes became more common, websites began appearing to investigate them. One of the most famous was Snopes. People could search suspicious stories and discover whether they were real, false, or somewhere in between. For the first time, internet users had a dedicated place to verify rumors. Slowly, awareness grew. People became more skeptical, and many of the classic chain emails started losing their power, at least for a while. And here comes the interesting part. Chain emails never really disappeared. They just evolved. The same tactics used in chain emails can be found all over the internet today. Emotional manipulation, fear, outrage, urgency, share this before it's deleted, they don't want you to know this, spread the word. The delivery system changed from email hoaxes to social media feeds, but the formula remains surprisingly similar. The chain email walked so modern information could run. Looking back, it's easy to laugh at the era of chain emails. The cursed messages, the fake virus alerts, the Nigerian prince, unbelievable stories that somehow convince millions of people to hit forward. But maybe they're not as different from today's internet as we'd like to think. Because whether it's a chain email from 2002 or a viral post from today, the biggest lesson remains the same. Just because something is being shared by everybody does not mean it's true. If you enjoyed this Throwback Thursday deep dive, comment below and let me know what internet rabbit hole we should explore next. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video, and like this so I know you're watching. And remember, question everything. See you in the next video.